Okay, let's get on to the easy stuff. That was the hard stuff. Do the hard stuff first. Okay. Adding, subtracting matrices. Yep, there we go. Adding, subtracting matrices. Okay, two matrices must have the same dimensions. In order to add or subtract. So that's going to be your main checkpoint there, is if they're different sizes, you can't do it. So if they don't, it is not possible. So if they don't have the same dimensions, you're just going to write not. Yay. The two matrices must have the same dimensions to add or subtract. If they don't, it is not possible. That's the answer you put down. And all we have to do is we have corresponding elements. That's the word there. Corresponding elements. So whatever's in the top left of each matrix, you add them or subtract them together. That's going to be your answer. So let's go do an easy one. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus -2, 4, -3, 0, 8, -10. Do these have the same dimensions? How many rows? How many rows? 2. How many columns? This one, how many rows? How many columns? 3. Our answer is going to be a 2 by 3. Answer. I'm going to do a work matrix. You won't always have to do this, but corresponding elements. This one corresponds with which one in this one? -2. Okay, so it's 1 plus -2. So I'm going to put my answer down here. What's 1 plus -2? There's your first answer. We just have to do this 5 more times. So when they say add or subtract corresponding elements, you're going to take the element, the sign in the middle, and then the corresponding element. So I'm going to work my way across. I'm going to go to the 2, and I have 2 plus 4. And that is, wow, hard stuff, huh? It can get a little bit more complicated. You don't have to have this one. No. Next one, I think I already heard it. 0. Okay. So this is what you're going for. That's the answer. Just about. What they call scalar multiplication. Sounds complicated, it's really easy. Okay? The only thing with this to be watch out for is when it is a subtraction, you may be subtracting a negative. So if this was a minus sign up here, what would be your first element if it was a minus sign? 3. Because it would be 1 minus a negative 2. Okay, so if it's a minus sign, just be careful of minusing a negative, which switch that back to a plus sign. Just like adding a negative is basically subtraction. Minus a negative is addition. Okay. Which one of these 3 examples is not possible?
2C.
2C or not 2C?
2C.
Okay. So if you look, these are the same size, 2 by 2. This one's 2 by 3, 2 by 3. This one is a 3 by 2. This one is a 2 by 4. Basically, you look at them, they're not the same size, not possible. Okay? So the last thing is what they call scalar multiplication. Now, of course, they're going to put the addition, subtraction, and this multiplication part together in problems, so be careful of that. But what do you do first in the order of operation? Multiply, or add, or subtract? Okay. So we want to do this before any addition or subtraction. So if they have some scalar multiplications, it's just any addition or subtraction. A scalar, what's the base word for scalar? Scale. And if you scale something, you're either making it larger or smaller. So in mathematics, a scalar is a single number used to increase or decrease a given value. It's a single number used to increase or decrease a given value. Think of slope. Slope is basically a scalar. Because you have a given number, you multiply it by the slope, and it makes it either go higher or lower. So a single number in front of a matrix would be a scalar. So that is what a scalar is. A scalar would be 3. Oh yeah, pi showing up. Oh yeah. Just because. So if we have a scalar in front, it's basically a big distributive property. So this 3 is going to go to all 4 elements. So you have to take 3 times 4, which is going to be 12. 3 times 0. 3 times negative 2. And pi. 3 times pi.
One thing that's pi can be 2 different answers because 3.14 is different.
Just leave it in terms of pi. Leave it in terms of pi. So it'd be 12, 0, negative 6, and 3 pi. So it's just like a variable. Treat it just like a variable. Okay? So there, yeah, pi is on your calculator. It's second, and then the caret button. So that would be your answer there for scalar multiplication. Nope. Just leave it in terms of pi. So that's pretty much it. I mean, the hardest thing you'll see will be problems like this. They're going to give you 4 different matrices, and they ask you to simplify something like 2 times C and plus 11 times A. So the 2 is the scalar. The C is the name of the matrix you're going to use. Okay? So you do the scalar multiplication first, then you add the results together. But even looking at that one ahead of time, C is 2 by 3, A is 2 by 2, you won't even be able to add them together. So you may want to check that out before you get started. Not possible. Okay? So that's pretty much the hardest thing. You have to write out some matrices. But
Hey, is no solution wrong?
you can put no solution. Okay? Is that okay? Not too bad? Pretty easy after the 3x3 systems? Okay, so these matrices, these will give us other resources to use to solve those 3x3 systems, so we don't have to use what you're using. Matrices are possible on your calculator also, if you want to figure that out. Okay. You don't really need it for this assignment, but stuff we'll do in the future could be helpful as well. Stuff that you were doing for this assignment, you can do all that in your calculator. I'm glad you didn't find that video on there.